Hey, my friends, John Henry Weston here for LifeSiteNews. As any regular viewers of this channel know, we are living in unprecedented times in the history of the Catholic Church. We take no pleasure in reporting on what seems like a daily onslaught of shocking stories that leave one wondering, just how bad is this going to get? How far will they go? But it's also our duty to tell you about the men and women who will go down in history as heroic, faithful, extraordinary Catholics who are quietly going about the business of laying down their lives for the least of these. And one such hero is someone who, well, you've read about here at LifeSite News on many occasions, Father Fidelis Moscinski of the Franciscan Friars of the Renewal, who has devoted his life and his vocation to protecting unborn children no matter the cost. Jim Hale has this report.
He has brought the tension of abortion to the streets in New York. He has literally brought this issue to the people. And he has been so brave and so bold that in the face of intense adversity from radical pro-abortion activists on the ground in New York, he continues to march and walk to the abortion clinic and to guide many others to do the same. And he's set an incredible example. And I think seeing the hatred that he's experienced because of that, that has really shown me that it's okay to be hated and that we need that.
He is Father Fidelis Moscinski of the Franciscan Friars of the Renewal. Father has become synonymous with the Red Rose Rescue movement. The 53-year-old friar is currently facing 6 different federal and state charges for entering abortion facilities in a last-ditch attempt to persuade mothers to save their unborn children.
He talks on suffering a lot and how it is vital to embrace suffering and not run from suffering. He has been such a constant leader steering this boat on what it means to bring back rescue, bring back acting like it is abortion is murder. And, you know, he's a pillar in our movement. And I truly believe whether he is, out on the streets or behind bars, he will continue to be that inspiration and that constant for us as well.
It's an example to all us priests that maybe the Lord's asking a little bit more of each one of us with regard to what can we do to put an end to mass murder. Is Father Fidelis' example something that we're called to follow? Because as priests, we're called to pray and to sacrifice.
I've rescued with Father a couple times. We've been arrested together a couple times. And, there was one rescue in Maryland, and it was just me and him in the abortion facility, nobody else. We were inside the lobby, and, the police created a barricade, and they funneled people into the abortion facility, and it was silent. And we heard the sound of the abortion machine. And it went, and a girl moaned in pain. And we both looked at each other, and it's just like, those moments change you.
I was there on that bitterly cold day of January 2021. Moments after the horror that Lauren described, we witnessed unspeakable evil when a young man taunted pro-lifers celebrating the abortion.
It's gone, man. It's not too late. It's gone. That shit is gone. They put it in the trash can and all that.
Father really pulled us together and led us through that moment because it was so horrible. I mean, being 5 feet away, literally 5 feet away from someone being murdered is just incredibly, I don't know, profound in such a negative way.
For legal reasons, Father declined to go on camera for this video, but he invited me to stay with him at the St. Leopold Friary in Yonkers, New York. I was struck by his kindness, peaceful spirit, and quiet strength. Surely Russell Crowe would star in the movie about him. Another thing that was evident are the extraordinary friendships he has with other stalwart pro-lifers. I met 2 of them in New York. Will Goodman often serves as Father's chauffeur, driving around the country for court cases and living out of his car.
when I'm with Father, I get a sense that I am with someone who truly believes that Jesus Christ is the King of creation, that the Sacred Heart is how we should live and move and have our being, that he is firmly convinced that the teachings of Christ and that his church are what will save souls and bring peace to the world.
I see somebody who's been my friend for all these years that I've worked with, and I just see the transformation in him, the graces of God working in him, being very even-keeled about the whole thing. Like just to give you an example, a few weeks ago they had like a whole bunch of court dates coming up. There was like one after another, boom, 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 boom. And I texted him and I said, okay, Father, I think I'm having a meltdown, because I was looking at all these things and thinking of him sitting, and like even now I get teary-eyed. I understand it totally, and it's beautiful, and I understand all the spiritual aspects, but at the same time, the human part of me is like thinking of my friend being in jail like that for a long time is really, really hard. And his response was, all will be well, and that's him.
But Jesus said, blessed are those who are persecuted for the kingdom of heaven, for the sake of justice. And in a sense, we experienced some taste of that today. We were blessed, even though we were reviled and spoken evil against by that group. Nevertheless, the Lord sent us on this mission to give testimony to our faith in him and to the sanctity of life. And I can't help but think, if there were Catholics in every city in this country, in all the churches, who were gathering in prayer and then in procession to the abortion clinics, abortion would end very quickly in our country. So it's simply a matter of overcoming our apathy and our fear to do what the Lord is asking us to do. So my prayer for all of us is that we would respond to that grace to be true Catholics and to be truly the church militant in our world today. God bless you.